All right. So it's going to come up inevitably. Why are you doing what you're doing? Why are you going the urban camping route if it's absolutely not necessary? And the main reason, I can sum it up, there's a saying that goes lead, follow, or get out of the way. I don't see any sort of leadership. I'm not interested in following anyone, and I'm pretty sure that the entire system is just rotted from the inside out. So I'm going to get out of the way. With everything that's coming down, and the speed at which it's coming is really it's amazing. I can't believe the draconian steps that are being taken. And without getting too far into it, we all know what the legislation is. But what rational person walks out their front door and says, like, God, I really see the justification for having a drone flying around in the sky over America just to keep an eye, just because I'm so frightened for my safety. I'm so terrified walking out my front door that, Habib, the local liquor store owner, that obviously doesn't have a vested interest in doing anything stupid, is going to be involved in some terror plot. So I'm going to rationalize that. The complacency of the people in this country is so frustrating. And I'm thoroughly convinced that short of like a complete collapse or outright martial law with firearms confiscation or something like that, the American people will tolerate anything. And I mean anything. Yeah, if Congress legislated that your neighbor's house needs to be burned to the ground, most people would stand outside on their front porch going, God, that's a shame that their house had to be burned down. That's really a shame. I'm glad it wasn't mine, though. Because I can't imagine that happening to me, even though I'm sitting here watching that house burn down. And sure, you guys have all heard about, the farms getting raided and all this, and it's just a matter of time before you get wrapped up in some obscure law, and people aren't going to do anything. And I really don't have any sympathy, and that's going to sound cold, but I don't have any sympathy for people who do not value their own freedom. I think it's James Wesley Rawls, a great author, and he says that the worst thing in the world to be is a refugee. And that's kind of my thinking along these lines. Downsizing, staying as mobile as possible. If it gets as bad as I think things could get, there's going to be a lot of refugees and a lot of suburbia that are going to have a very, very, very hard life. And you're not going to convert them. You're not going to change their mind. No matter how much you scream about the Federal Reserve on the internet, there's nothing you can do about it. So, me personally, what I can do is I can take steps to be mobile and get the hell out of the way when things start to happen. And, we can all feel the quickening that is occurring in the economy. They'll pelt you with information. It's getting better. It's getting better. But obviously, you can look around and see the decay in the system and the fabric of society and how they're reacting to it. It's like, the leadership of this country creates an environment in which the economy starts to break down. And people start to act up and get angry, which is what free people do. And instead of addressing the problem, their reaction is, well, the people are angry. We need to clamp down more. And that's frustrating because it's a self-fulfilling cycle. People are angry because of the situation that you created. So you sick the goons after them. People fight back against the goons where you say, my God, we need more goons and they need to be tougher because these people are almost out of control. Well, here we are, and that's a cycle that I think we're starting to enter into. People fighting back and the top coming down. We all know how this goes. But I think that you ought to look at your surroundings, and a lot of people, I think, that have the idea that I'm quote-unquote prepped and the doomsday prepper type people that think that they're just going to hold up. I think you ought to have a plan B. You ought to have a plan B. Because 3 or 4 people, no matter how well stocked you are, defending against either a tyrannical government or an angry mob, the odds are stacked against you. So, something to think about. Alright, guys. Adios.